Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I have a very exciting interview reaction covering the new Warhammer 40K Total War game that'll be coming out soon. I haven't seen this interview yet, but it was sent to me in my Discord. Thank you so much to my community for getting this to my attention. I am super excited to see what's going to be said in this interview. We're going to get right to the video, but right before I do, I just want to let y'all know I'll try to keep my pauses to a minimum, but at the end of the day, this is a review and an analysis, not really me just trying to repost an interview. I will link the OG video down below so that if you want to, you can watch that uninterrupted, then come back and see what insights I have. But let's get right into the video. Down in progress, okay. Ooh, okay. Pauses to a minimum. You know that's just a joke. Holy crap, look at that map.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
That's hot.
Total War Warhammer 40,000 is really like a marriage of IPs made in heaven. We create.
I agree with that take. I agree with that take heavily. They really are just a perfect marriage.
And we have a really precious IP currently that we are working with, which I know lots of you, just like us, who really love. We've read a lot of books, played games, painted minis. We want to insert you in that authentic universe.
Wow.
Everyone
Look at those
fighting.
ruins.
There's no option to stop because, you know, the world will eat you alive.
Oh my
You as a
God.
player, you will make the
I'm so
difference.
excited.
But
I'm
really
so
the
excited. I'm
power
so
of war,
excited.
You can experience
Were the drop pods? Okay, wait. Let's see. Okay.
the whole
Okay.
universe, from the galaxy running an entire faction across the stars to the soldier fighting on the ground and just clinging to life.
God, it looks so good. Not even just like gameplay wise, which it does. Like I'm interested, but the graphical fidelity is incredible.
A general who is like, I'm at the command of vast forces doing big flanking.
Oh,
maneuvers,
look at the march.
doing
That's so
smart moves,
cool.
Like jumping over, like covering big spaces, especially with the jump packs, or dropping bombardment of the enemy. And that's what's unique about it, is the
And it
scalable, the
did that
horizontal
move the
and the
terrain?
verticality of it.
Oh,
It's
here,
a
let me
big,
turn on the
vast
subtitles.
Franchise,
My apologies.
A massive setting that's been around since the 80s, but luckily we don't expect players to know everything. We don't even want them to know everything. We have a brilliant onboarding experience. It's a very story-driven set of campaigns, and there was only one iconic location to start.
Yes, it is Armageddon. The
Yeah,
quintessential
saw that coming.
place that represents the fight between humanity and orcs. They're like larger than life characters. Like one of my favorite ones is Yarrick, who, yes, we will have in the game.
Well, don't forget his arch rivals there too. We have Ghazghkull Thraka, the prophet of the War himself.
Oh, look at that model.
But it's that journey that's going to...
I gotta see how big he is in game.
Yeah, it's a path to Armageddon, yeah. The stakes are galactic, so you're going through between systems. The systems
Recovery,
where the end goal, at
Imperium.
least for the Orc, and the Imperium is definitely Armageddon.
And Armageddon's certainly not where we're stopping. It's just the start.
We're looking at all of the details of the different world types.
Beautiful pane windows back there. That's not really an analysis of the Warhammer stuff going on. I like it.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That are present in Warhammer 40,000. So we've got hive worlds, agro worlds, mining worlds, frontier worlds, and layered on top of that, we also have all of the different biomes. So
Did you see
we
that
have
hive city
mining
back there?
Worlds, arid mining worlds. Ultimately, what we've done is we have created a planet-making system. There's two things we want to do with the hive worlds. One, we want to make sure that the planets themselves
Jesus. That's so cool looking.
hive worlds, so that we have huge cathedrals.
I love Warhammer, man.
Like we're in a cathedral here. Cathedral-like cities stretching into the sky, going through the clouds, and whole planets surf.
If the AI doesn't shit itself during sieges like it does in Total War 3, if they actually fix that problem, hive cities and their streets have the potential of being the coolest setting to have like an urban warfare kind of simulation going on. If they do it right, this could be the coolest RTS ever made.
Covered in urban development, and then we want to make sure that the battlefields match the visuals on the planet.
So one of the challenges, of course, there is like the staggering sort of architecture and scale.
For reference, I'm not expecting them to simulate full like hive cities during the battle or anything. Maybe just a section of a hive city for like a little bit more urban, you know what I mean? I'm not unrealistic. I don't expect us to be fighting in the center of a hive, but I don't know. You know, it's just potential. I'm just saying there's limitless potential.
And verticality, and then try and pull that into like a really engaging gameplay space. The sheer volume of potential.
Ooh, that turret.
Building zones, traversable lanes, cover zones.
Making siege towers way more interesting and unique in their design and architecture could be really, really cool. And I'm not gonna say easy, but like I think there's more of a precedent that you need to do that and like have each faction have their own kind of turret on their siege buildings and everything, and they're like native lands, you know, native territories.
We have some maps where your focus will be on sort of like navigating through these choke points.
Ooh, big Stompa back there. Did you see that? My audience last time was in the comments trying to help me learn how to go frame by frame. Yeah, it works. See, look, Stompa right there. That is so cool.
Navigating through these choke points and blasting.
Look at that other kind of turret.
To get a bit more sort of room to maneuver, or you know, bring down a building on someone that's.
Whoa! What was that attack?
There's actually some pretty significant open spaces within them. You know, like gigantic landing pads and sort of, you know, the scale is so utterly off the chart.
Total War's always been a game about scale, right? You're from the bird's eye view above your empire down to the individual battlefields that decide its fate. With this one, though, we've had to go much grander. You're fighting across the solar system, right? Imagine you're looking down at kind of your ship's bridge at the hololith that's displayed. You're now deciding which planet do I wish to assault? Which regions should I
You see that? Start campaign?
Strategic advantage. Every decision...
Let's go back. I just want to analyze that. This is very intentional, the over-the-shoulder, like, letting you see some of the gameplay. Theater, Armageddon. So this is the Armageddon star system, I'm assuming. You zoom in to the planet, okay. Are those a list of what is that? What is that main army? Ah, start campaign settings. For Armageddon to be something from the orcs. Blah, 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 okay. Interesting.
Myself the most strategic advantage. Every decision you make as a player is not impacting just your current turn, but it's impacting every turn that goes on afterwards.
Whoa, look, whoa, is that half an orc? They're oh my gosh. That's so cool. There's viscera and gore, and they like break apart.
It's a linear path through, right? And also narratively, the decisions you make as an individual drive the outcome of the story itself and how that plays out. So even playing through with the same
Calgar up in the corner, did you see that? This is so cool.
Even playing through with the same faction multiple times will yield a different...
Wait. What did I spy with my little eye? Okay. These are different kinds of plans. I thought that was the Necron symbol for a half a second. You know, like the classic Pariah Nexus symbol.
With the same faction multiple times will yield a different experience for you as a player.
We want their strategic decision making to.
Whoa, is that a bombing run? Did you see that? He's using some kind of ability. I wonder if that's no. You see that to the right? I bet that's like imperial ship abilities or something. I think like an imperial battleship up top has some kind of bombing run mechanic
to pull their forces through the game,
or some kind of air support.
Narrative events or the
look at how they can hug up against that cover. That was like Dawn of War-esque.
But they were certainly.
Yeah, plus 20. Interesting. Okay, that's an interesting way to interact with that.
The framing of why they're there, what their objectives are, how do they win. So the narrative framing.
They can drive through it. Oh, that's so cool. The battlefield can evolve.
A certain system. If you're the Astra Militarum and you take a plant on a civilized world, they're probably going to get a boost to tank production. If you're orcs and you come across a world rich in scrap, that's probably going to help you build some stompers much faster than going to agri-world.
Look at that stomper. Look at that camera angle.
If you love Warhammer 40,000, We are bringing that
Yes.
to life in a way you will never have seen in any other video game that's been made. If you love your strategy gaming,
Wait. Full storm lightning strikes? Vortex forms. Is this an attack, or is this a natural event that can occur on planets? I
any
wonder.
other video game that's been made. If you love your strategy gaming, right, in general, if you love your turn-based or real-time strategies, you know, we've got you there as well.
Whoa! Look at that!
We cannot wait to spend the next many, many years crafting the ultimate grimdark experience.
I think that they're skipping that because the terrain slightly morphs, but it might not morph as much as they want. That's the vibe I get from it. I might be reading too much into it,
You
but
can help by joining our closed beta, which gets launched later this year. We are on social
Done.
media, so please follow us for more news, and thank you again.
oh my gosh, I'm gonna be signing up for that beta like right now as soon as I stop recording. That was sick. I think the one message I want to leave with y'all is that I am so excited for this game. I'm just, every little frame I see just gets me so amped. I'm so looking forward to this. I'm seeing a lot of interesting mechanics. I'm seeing new mechanics that I don't recognize in Total War. I mean, so minimal. Like I remember during sieges in a lot of Total War games, you can line up your troops on which side of the wall, whether you want it to be them to be looking inside the siege walls or outside the siege walls. And there's some stuff like that, don't get me wrong, but that kind of dedicated like positioning for like behind cover moves and everything like was shown somewhere around here, I think. And the way the terrain evolves and moves and new abilities that I imagine depend on how you're doing in the campaign and the star system and this narrative feel. And look at this UI, look at the pictures and the images. It really makes you feel like you're a general looking at a data slate rather than like a gamer looking at a game UI while controlling like fantasy units. Not to throw any shade at Total War. I adore Total War, and their UI is beautiful and does a good job of trying to immerse you. But this feels like you're genuinely looking at a data slate. Like I could see this being a real drone, like a camera of a general observing from like the observation deck of a ship and commanding his troops like this. That's just so cool. And the viscera and the gore and the hive cities and the design of the planets. And we've only really seen one battlefield so far. But if the rest of the battlefields, if they have a lot of variety and they're designed to this quality and scale, then I'm so in. I'm so excited for this game. I will be tracking all the news. If you aren't already, make sure to subscribe, comment, follow, all the good stuff. But subscribe so that you can follow along as I give you the most up-to-date news about what's going on in the Total War space. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.